Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the next part of the Uber's Road to Top 10, and we got some Pokemon that have definitely been asked for a lot. Kyurem White and Marshadow are two that definitely come to mind. I saw a lot of support for them. In fact, I actually left a lot of Marshadow support out because there was way too much for it. So I just looked at the recent episode. But yeah, pretty excited for this episode of the Road to Top 10 in Ubers. One more thing. If you guys didn't know, I do have a podcast called The Lock Podcast that I do with Key, and we feature content creators and we try to give you like a different, some insight to them, like maybe just person behind the creator, or just their overall thoughts on certain things. We actually have an episode that went live today with Wolfie Glick. You can check that out on anchor.fm/lock and listen on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever, all by clicking that link. You get it early because the episodes all come out on Sunday on YouTube. But yeah, excited to use this. Another thing, I've realized what Pokemon is best for me in the Ubers tier, and that is obviously Ditto. I think a lot of people already know that, but Ditto is definitely my go-to when it comes to Ubers. Much like in RU, it's Golisopod. So you might see another Ditto next episode, depending on how this episode goes. I'm starting to understand that I love offense a lot more in Ubers than I love balance, because it's really fun just to win. I think I love Ditto most, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the team preview. So like I said, we are using Kyurem White today. This Pokemon is an absolute nuke with a choice specs. Draco Meteor is incredibly powerful. Obviously, the biggest drawback is Pokemon like Xerneas can set up after. Ice Beam, though, is extremely spammable in the Ubers tier. There are very few Pokemon that actually resist Ice. The big one that comes to mind is Primal Kyogre. After that, a lot of Pokemon do not really take it. If you're neutral, it's going to at least 2-hit KO you unless your name is Ho-Oh, and even Ho-Oh just barely avoids a 2-hit KO from Specs Ice Beam. So if rocks are up, it will be 2-hit KO. Speaking of Ho-Oh, we do have Stone Edge for that Pokemon as well, giving us just an extra way of dealing with it. Like, it's incredibly bulky on the special defensive side. With Turbo Blaze, we also don't care about multi-scale Lugia, which is pretty cool, so that Ice Beam is going to go right through that. And then we do have Fusion Flare to hit the steel types like Ferrothorn, Scizor, and Celesteela. But honestly, Ice Beam is going to 2-hit KO everything I just mentioned. Maybe not Scizor, but that's a big if, because they run physically defensive in the Ubers tier as well for like Necrozma and whatnot. So I think Ice Beam might even 2-hit KO Scizor with rocks. Don't call me on that though. Of course, we're not leaving home without our Primal Groudon. This is kind of necessary in the Ubers tier because it's an all-around check to everything. It's an offensive presence. It's a problem. It's a stealth rocker. Again, Xerneas check. Big one is it's the Primal Kyogre check on our team, so it can't spam Water Spout versus us. We have Rock Tomb, hitting Ho-Oh. Hitting Primal Kyogre with Rock Tomb, especially if it's an offensive variant, allows us to outspeed it and knock it out with Prestige's Blades after. Overheat with max special attack is going to nuke Pokemon like a Veltal. And do a ton to Pokemon like Arceus Ground, for example, with Rocks Up, Rock Tomb damage, and an Overheat. And again, just an offensive stealth rocker for our squad. Veltal is our choice Scarf user. It is a defogger for us. We're running a more support Scarf of Veltal, enough speed for Excadrill. That way we can just foul play, lead Excadrill twice if they do opt to Rock Tomb, so they should always go for Stealth Rock anyway. U-turn for Momentum. This is also a Mewtwo check. Necrozma Dusk Main check, Ultra Necrozma check. And then Foul Play is basically our only stab boosted by our ability. Enough defense to take E-Killer plus 2 E-Speed. Mega Scizor is the next member of the squad, and pretty interesting pick for the Ubers tier. As I mentioned, it is a check to Necrozma and Ultra Necrozma. Ultra Necrozma if it's not running Heat Wave. Necrozma if it's SD or any set. We just curse up alongside it. We can even beat Arceus and things like that. We even beat Celesteela in the Ubers tier because Celesteela runs no Flamethrower. It runs Leech Seed, Toxic, Heavy Slam, and Protect. So we can get up to +6 versus that as well. So last mon, Scizor should be able to beat Celesteela just because of that and Roost on longevity. The biggest thing about running a physically defensive Scizor though is we don't check Xerneas as well. That well. Like we check it with Bullet Punch, but unless rocks are up, we're not guaranteed to 2-hit KO anyway. And if it has HP Fire at +2, it's going to knock us out. So we have to be really careful about Xerneas. Marshadow is the next member of the squad. We are running Bulk Up, Marshadium Z. So we have that Soul Stealing 7-star Strike. Shadow Sneak gives us some nice priority for opposing Marshadow, Ultra Necrozma, and Mega Mewtwo Y. Close Combat and Spectral Thief are our stab moves. And the Z move allows us to actually overcome support Arceus if they have taken a little bit of damage. Love Marshadow, giving us a fighting immunity as well. And we also have Arceus Fairy. Arceus Fairy giving us an Yveltal answer on the team, but also a Calm Mind Sweeper because we are running offensive Arceus Fairy with Calm Mind, Judgment, Earth Power, Recover. Earth Power obviously there for Primal Groudon and Ultra Necrozma. And then Judgment is just our stab. I believe that is the team for today's episode. I think I mentioned all 6. Let's get right into the battles. Alright guys, so we have our first battle. Girna. Curse Scizor isn't terrible, but this can easily run Heat Wave, and its Moongeist Beam is going to be very threatening too. I think my Kyurem clicking the right buttons is going to be important here, and same thing with my Groudon clicking the right buttons. By that I mean like Overheat into Presses Blades, or Presses Blades into Rock Tomb, all that, or Rock Tomb into all those other attacks does a lot to my opponent, but it's going to be tough though. Big fan of Kyurem. Ooh, my ability went first. Maybe he's adamant. Gonna click the Ice Beam, bro. I really want to click Fusion Flare here, but I'm just gonna start chipping away at Magearna first, and then getting up rocks from there. I don't switch into Kyogre very easily with this team. And I don't always see Jolly Rayquaza at all. So let's see if Kyurem White can start clicking Ice Beam in this. I want to drop some Dracos as well in this guy. Of course, my opponent could also be Ultra Necrozma with this, but this is definitely checked by Yveltal. Yveltal's really good in this too. Looking like it's a Defog Arceus type though. I don't know if it's Fairy or Ground. Ground looks a little bit more likely. I would say Water if he didn't have Kyogre, but Ground looks a lot more likely actually, considering his switch-ins to Primal Groudon are kind of non-existent. So it gets interesting here because I can easily go out into my Groudon, and they can obviously Flare Cannon for a little bit of chip, or they can double hard into Kyogre / Rayquaza. I'm super tempted to click Ice Beam again, but I think that Groudon is just a safer play, especially because I can click Rock Tomb after. Yeah. So Rock Tomb after is for sure my best play. I could get up rocks here, but if I want to make it so I don't lose to Kyogre or anything, I definitely think that I go for the Rock Tomb play now. I don't think you ever stay in with Magearna. Even if you did, what would you do? You hard swap and then, oh god, my Overheat. No. Hard Rayquaza is an interesting play. But it's great for me because I get some beautiful damage off. Now, unfortunately, Overheat shouldn't be able to knock them out because of the fact that while it says Intense Sun, there is no Intense Sun because of Groudon's ability. How many custom sets are there here? Are you serious? This is why I always have to, I forgot. Ooh, there's a bus outside. Nice, 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 nice. Maybe Ray will die. Who knows? Yeah, now I know. Like, I 100% know it will. Dragon Ascent, anything, Arceus Fairy is my best play. Goes for Surf, Life Orb? Nope. That kind of looks Specs, if I'm being honest. 24%. Just Earth Power here on Magearna. Every bit of chip on this Pokemon is going to matter towards Kyurem. That did a lot as well. That actually did a good chunk. Hold up, I'm going to Earth Power again. I don't want to go hard Groudon, especially if they double back. And even if they Pain Split, dude, I knock you out. Like, I knock you out so much. Just switch. You can't give me this thing. They're crazy. I got a Spadef drop on them, and they weren't going to be able to revenge kill me at all. That's fine. I'm going to Earth Power again. They might Heart Swap here. I don't think I have to be that healthy. Okay. I am definitely faster than you, so it's the same thing. Actually, maybe being healthy makes sense for... Oh, that's great. Awesome. So that's going to open up my Groudon a lot. Now I'll feel a little bit more safer to go for the attacks I'll be doing. Now, this Mon comes out. So if you look at my opponent's team, Scizor isn't terrible, right? Honestly, the best play has to always be a Yveltal, I think, no matter what. I was thinking about going Scizor there, but yeah, the fact that they went for SD, this is also Ultra Necrozma. This is like guaranteed Ultra Necrozma now, by the way. Not sure. I guess they had Stone Edge, but it doesn't matter. I go for Foul Play. I knock them out. That's amazing. This is looking like a wrap. Now, it is a little bit early to be saying that, but it wasn't early enough. As you can see, my intuition... It was on point. So I kind of want to see where we are because it has been a couple days since I last recorded. Not that I've played any games outside of it. I have not. But of course, when you're at a certain point on Showdown, if you guys don't play 5 games a day, you do decay. It's a good amount of points too. So Showdown doesn't show me the rank in battles anymore. So 1728, which is where on the ladder, just so you guys know where we are, obviously. 44. Okay, so Kyurem didn't do as much in that one. I mean, chipped away at Magirna. My opponent got a little bit, I think, impatient and SD'd up. What their game plan should have been, because I don't want to just move on immediately. I want to learn myself, and I want you guys to learn as well. What they should have done was try to get in Kyogre as many times as possible. My one response to Kyogre was Groudon. That's like my main response. Obviously, I have a pseudo check in both Kyurem White and Marshadow, and I call them pseudo checks because like Kyurem can obviously take one hit and then do Draco, like drop a Draco and do a lot. But even then, there's Marshadow there to kind of stop. There's Magirna there to kind of stop that. And Marshadow is a check because it doesn't come in on Origin Pulse or Water Spout, but it does have its Soul Stealing 7-star Strike. But yeah, we'll pause it until we find another game, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got another game now. 2 things to note. Another Kyogre, so Groudon always has to be in the back. Can never lead Groudon. I would never lead Groudon versus his team anyway. They have Salamence, Zygarde, potentially Arceus E-Killer, maybe. I think E-Killer is a little bit more likely than Arceus Fairy, Arceus Ground, or Arceus Water on this team. I feel like all of those are kind of like he has like basically like pseudo those and like Salamence, Kyogre, and Zygarde. Spam Ice Beam as many times as possible. Overall game plan. This could be one of those weird Stealth Rock Arceus normals. I've seen those a couple times. But definitely go Groudon in the back. And just lead Kyurem and click Ice Beam. Oh, that's nice. I can get some Demoglios off on this boy. Some damage. I can drop a Draco here. I should like that a lot. Like, I don't care if he goes Xerneas, bro. Get my damage off on you. Now, this is an interesting turn. Because I'm scared as hell of Xerneas in this game. I'll be real. I'm gonna be scared of Kyogre too. I'm gonna have to double around, man. Alright, my dude reveals Arceus Fire though, so that's great. I definitely want Rocks up. Arceus Fire is actually not that great now that I think about it. I love Marshadow in this game though. Yeah, it's pretty decent with its Z. I love Arceus Fairy as well, especially because I have Earth Power. I went Arceus Fairy over Kyurem, because I obviously threatened this a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back out into my Groudon here. I'm going to have to allow Kyogre to do its thing, because I do need Rocks up to threaten Kyogre and Xerneas and whatnot. So we're going to get up Rocks here, as he opts to go for Toxic. I'm literally going to click Overheat now. And max special attack Overheat. It's going to do some damage to you. Ooh, I just forced that into Father form. That's hilarious. Now, Scizor is important for Xerneas, though Xerneas kind of looks to be Scarf on this build, but even then. So I definitely don't want... If this is Defog Mence, then I don't think it's Dragon Dance. I could be wrong. So I'm actually okay with my Arceus Fairy being... I was going to say fodderized here, but I'm actually okay with it getting potentially paralyzed. But the great position that this puts me in is basically, because this is Stealth Rock, Necrozma, I can start bringing out my Scizor. And I can honestly just go for a slow U-turn here. If he wills Arceus Fire, it takes some good damage. I'm assuming it's an Inferno Overdrive set. And if he brings out his Zygarde, I get to bring out my buddy Kyurem. Hello! Ultra Necrozma. Click an Ice Beam. I don't care. Bro, this is great. This is some nice... This is going to do about 30% if this is offensive. Yeah, 30%. Beautiful. You know, I'm clicking that again. Screw it. I don't care. Why not, man? This mon is a problem. He actually doubles back on the Xerneas on a Specs Ice Beam. This is going to do so much damage. Beautiful. Alright, so we have Xerneas in range of Shadow Sneak. Scizor is a great switch. Even if he HP fires, he's not going to be able to knock me out. Moonblast doesn't matter too much. Did a lot, but I don't... I'm going to... Okay. Sir, stop that. I want to always keep a momentum. Versus this thing, I don't care if he Geomancy's up. Ideally, I get to get my U-turn off there, and I bring out my best friend Marshadow, and I just go for my Shadow Sneak here. So The main reason I didn't want Scizor in is because Arceus Fire, which is looking to be Z Arceus Fire in front of Overdrive maybe, is looking kind of threatening. Now, with Xerneas gone, I can drop a Draco, though I don't very well need to. Bro, I don't think you're... if he's Dragon Dance, he got me. Yeah, I think he just beat Defog right here. I'm judging 100% of the time. I'm not messing around with you as a threat. And because I have a Groudon to get up rocks, and because Kyogre is now weakened, I'm alright. Like, him... I get his game plan. His game plan is to weaken my... Groudon so his Arceus Fire can beat me down. But I have Marshadow at the end of the day as well. And look at Foul Play and look at his team, too. I'm gonna Rock Tomb just in case he starts Dragon Dancing. I don't care about that at all. Bring out my boy. Start clicking buttons now. I really want a Fusion Flare, but I don't think I should. I don't think I should. Then again, maybe I should. No, I'm not about to have it fizzle out because he pivots into Kyogre. Yeah, exactly. Not about to fizzle out. I'd rather have Kyogre in range of every attack from Marshadow ever. I already have Salamence in range of that. He goes Necrozma. I still have Scizor for that too. Obviously, that is an interesting mon to bring out now. You can go ahead and defog, but I'll take that from you as well. I guess his game plan is to get in Arceus Fire here. I can afford to U-turn on you. Or not. I can attempt to U-turn again. I'm physically defensive. Yeah, sorry, sir. I'm not letting you glare my children. Bring up Kyurem. I'm going to be able to Toxic the Arceus Fire. That's the big thing as well. I'm just going to Fusion Flare now. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, Prison Armor still avoids... Prison Armor still avoids Turbo Blaze, but I'll make the Scissor play on the expected Zygarde. Wow. Okay, you got me. Dude, if his Zygarde is just Rest Talk, I don't think he can beat Scizor. I'm gonna be real. I can't believe he did that. Because Fusion Flare 2-hit KO'd. I still have one more switch in, which is why I made this play. I just gotta start doing it with Marshadow. Like, that's it. And it looks like he's just Rest Talk Glare. I don't think he can touch me. I have one more switch in, so I'll just spam Ice Beam until I die. It's fine. Like, I clicked Fusion Flare before. He knows I have one switch in left. Let him go Necro, and I'll do like, what, 30%? That is a lot of damage, man. 20. That's max Spadef, guys. I want to say that's max Spadef. Oh, beautiful. Time to bring out the boy and start hurting. The boy is about to do some damage, man. Is in. Is now. If he goes hard, Zygarde. It's Rest Talk. It's definitely not Dragon Dance or anything else. Any other type of Zygarde. Like, he would have went for it a million times. Do you Toxic immediately? Nope, he goes for Morning Sun. Great. So I get my double bulk up here, which is going to allow me to basically destroy this guy with Spectral Thief. And I should be able to 2-hit KO the... That doesn't matter. Isn't Close Combat actually stronger, if I'm not mistaken? I didn't go for that first turn because there was no point in it. As obviously, if I get my defense lowered, it's a little bit harder. But I think based on its ability... No, it's still stronger. Okay, cool. I'll just Spectral Thief again. Go ahead and give me that. I have my Z move for the Zygarde to knock you out. Go ahead and give me you. Thank you very much. This is definitely going to knock out Zygarde. What? Poison does too much next turn. I might as well steal his boost while I'm at it. I'm just thinking about Arceus Fire. Like, if it's Combine Earth Power in front of Overdrive, I may have lost. It was Coil though, Rest this whole time? Why did that not KO? It's fine, I have a Veltal with Toxic. And Arceus Fire does not run refresh. So. Oh, he thunders there too. Great, yeah, like I said, Arceus Fire does not run refresh. Get a little bit of chip off. This boy definitely about to Inferno Overdrive me. I'm just making sure he dies to foul play. And if he Ice Beams there, he loses it guaranteed. Yep, cool. Alright, so he managed to win this. It wasn't as clean as I wanted because my head calcs were a little bit off. Obviously, had I KO'd the... well, if I didn't double. GG. Yeah. That boy was mad. Alright. I'll pause until we find another battle. I'll be right back. So the one thing I don't like about these Necrozma Dusk Main builds that are this weak to Xerneas is that they're usually running max Pidef Necrozma. Now, if it's a Necrozma without... Hey, fine. That boy put an emote. Hold up, that boy has points. That boy got some points right here. 1533. Oh god, he got some points. Okay. Rather not lose here. So, I mean, obviously Marshadow has such a great matchup. That's why it's so good in this tier. Me too. Curse Scizor can at least chip away at Groudon a little bit and help me check Xerneas. Now, yeah, if that is another Morning Sun Necrozma, that makes it a lot harder because otherwise the game plan is just click Ice Beam as many times as possible, chip away at my opponent to the point where Marshadow wins. I have no idea what type of Arceus type this is either. He has Giratina and Kyogre for Groudon. Oh, yeah, he has Xerneas for Veltal. It could still be Arceus Groudon, I suppose. Double Ground isn't terrible at all. By no means. I mean, that's really standard because Groudon plus Arceus Ground is really standard. I doubt it's Arceus Water though, so maybe Arceus Ground. Let's go to Kyurem White. As I always mention, when I have when I see a Kyogre, always have to key Groudon on the back. And we'll just click Ice Beam here. Faster. This is gonna do a lot. It's gonna be a 2-hit KO. If he goes Necrozma and I see leftovers, I'm gonna cry a little bit, but it's okay. It just makes it a lot harder to wear down. And now that I know a lot of the calcs from the last battle, I can deal with it a little bit easier. That is so good, man. I wish I had a Xerneas on my team. Well, the fact that this is Stealth Rock actually helps me out a little bit too. Maybe that is a more offensive variant of Necrozma. Maybe it's just Ultra Necrozma. So I'm clicking Ice Beam again. If he goes Kyogre, it can take its nice 30%. Getting that damage off on Groudon, which is, besides, in my opinion, Giratina and Kyogre, his main way of dealing with Scizor, is so good. Oh, it's not offensive. Let's go. I'm clicking Ice Beam again. Bro, I just want to click Ice Beam again, man. I have a Scizor, which is the better play, but I really want to click Ice Beam again. Yeah, Scizor's the better play. I just can't lose to Geomancy Xerneas. Alright, so the fact that it's offensive and the fact that I 2-hit KO it next time is really cool. Again, really thinking it is Ultra Necrozma. We are going to make the Scizor play though. As he Sunsteel Strikes immediately. Searing Sun Raising Smash. Nice. Alright, so there's a Z move. We don't have to worry about that. We also know it's not Ultra Necrozma, so I do outspeed him. I can Mega Evolve and Roost here and easily take every hit he wants to go for. If he wants to SD in my face, I have Curse, so I'll be good. Not Curse Network. Curse Network actually gives away your your tax information. Yo, real talk, that's not even a joke, man. I was never with Curse, but I got some friends, bro. Like Blunder and Jam, they were put on a witness protection, bro. That's what. Oh, I just spoiled. Oh, they're dying. Oh, damn, my bad, bros. Okay, so with that being offensive Necrozma and Groudon being at 40%, the game plan has shifted. Combine Arceus Fairy can now very, very, very easily win. Multiple setup opportunities, and it's definitely that. So I'm okay with going hard Groudon here. We're gonna Rocks just to start chipping away at Xerneas 2 to put it in range of 2 bullet punches. But Combine Arceus Fairy is definitely, I think, the new thing that's gonna win for me. But Marshadow can still do it too. Nice Ice Beam. And he's faster than me. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I can go out to Arceus Fairy now, and like I said, Combine Arceus Fairy is my new hope here. Hard Necrozma. Now, I don't think I die to 1 Sunsteel Strike. 72 to 85%. That's not bad. I'll live that. But I don't want to lose to you as well after. +1. +2. 62 to 74%. Earth Power you twice. I didn't want to do that, but yeah. If the Giratina doesn't have Shadow Sneak, but it could be E-Killer too, but I still value getting rid of this a lot, because Ice Beam is still good. Judgment at +1. Really? Okay, it definitely kills. I don't have to calculate, but alright, clicking Judgment here as he goes Giratina Origin form. Ooh, okay, great. Yo, Scizor is looking fired. Hold up. Scizor looking kind of clean. I like that. So we have Necrozma weakened. We have this in range of close combat. Okay, game plan shifted again. Marshadow has to do it for me now. I was hoping he'd go hard Groudon, so I take the Groudon from it too, but the fact that he gave me Giratina there is so good. Such a great pivot for me. Such a great turn. Truly. I don't know if you're Scarf, but I always Judgment you to put you in range of every single attack I can go for. Like I said, I'm still very weak to Kyogre. Don't get me wrong. But like my opponent's very weak to Marshadow, so I just sneak here. I still have Cursed Scizor as well. Oh, Arceus. Okay, sir. Wait, he has no Foul Play switchings. Oh, and it's Life Orb as well. So once it takes that Life Orb hit, it dies to close. Yeah, I just clicked Foul Play now. Foul Play is going to start doing damage. Once Arceus takes a hit, it dies to close combat. I have Ice Beam from Kyurem to spam. I think this is. I think I win this game because Groudon should die, Xerneas will die, Necrozma will die. The fact that it's E-Killer. Oh, and that's not going to do anything to me either. Let's get some nice Foul Play damage off on you, sir. Go ahead and get some more. I don't have a reason to keep my Belta alive. It's not like I have anything around to use, but Kyurem probably also wins at this point too if I just Z the Kyogre, so we might just go off that, to be honest. I don't think Geomancy Xerneas runs max speed ever, so yeah, Kyurem might just win. So if Kyogre comes out, I'm half tempted to just click my Z move. Also, you know, if the Groudon doesn't have a fire move, it's like my Scizor could beat it as well, but yeah. I'm pretty tempted. I'm actually a little bit confident that I'm gonna go Scizor here. Go ahead and cook me, sir. Damage time. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure that he went into that way too confidently for me, like there. Like I'm assuming I just don't KO you with my Marshadow. But if he goes Xerneas, excuse me, if he goes offensive Kyogre now, it's gonna take 35, and then that close combat, I see the Groudon, and then I should be able to win. Groudon, standard, uber, defensive, whatever. Close combat does not KO. I might have to get one play right. If it's Liquidation though, I can just bulk up in its face with Marshadow. But yeah, I just click Ice Beam now. He's gonna go Kyogre. I'm gonna be able to live 2 hits. I can't be frozen, which is great because of the fact that I'm part Ice type. And I'm gonna do 30% and another 30%, I think. Ideally, he shows me Liquidation, but it's obviously max special attack based on the damage it did to Groudon. So 30%. Hey, he's going for the paras. No! Maybe I'll freeze him before he paralyzes me. So I basically made it that I have to win a 50-50 versus Groudon. I don't feel comfortable trying to dodge an Origin Pulse there, obviously. 50-50 time. So if I Z, Groudon dies. Do I bulk up here though on the have I done anything, have I shown any other moves? If I Z, Groudon dies. If he go, so the 50-50 is if he gets in Necrozma, obviously on my Z, then Groudon lives. I still have the chance to crit. I got the play right. Hey, good game. Basically, the fact that I just said to myself, I still have the chance to crit means that I was fine there. I'll just click Special Thief here and win. This can't Ultra Burst because it's so Ganium Z. Thank you, bro. You too. Perfect. All right, Marshadow did it there, and Kyurem opened up a way too. So that was really nice. That was really nice. Oof, that was fun. That was a fun one. Where are we on the ladder now? But yeah, biggest turn of the events for sure was him giving me Giratina. Unfortunately, me not getting up rocks meant that Groudon was always out of range of Marshadow, so it sucks that I had to make it come down to a 50-50. Glad I got it right. I'm also glad that I always switched up moves with my Marshadow, so maybe he thought I was Scarf or something as a potential thing, I don't know. Because a Veltal can be faster than Arceus, no worries, but where are we on ranking? 1758. Where does that leave us here? Ladder. Ubers. Show me. Buddy? Pal? Ooh, your boy is number 30. We are close. We are close to top 10. Do I want to get another one? What time is it? 1. Gotta render this and get it up. Alright, I'll drop it at that. I think Kyurem White was fantastic in this. I also think Marshadow was fantastic. I'm going to put Kyurem White in the thumbnail though, just because. Probably going to use Marshadow again. I do think I'll use Ditto as well going forward. But obviously you guys can suggest certain things too. It's not only me, by the way, that's like accommodating what you guys say. But also my boy Zesty. He sees certain colors and like, oh, this looks really cool. Let me try this out. But I mean, he knows I've also been loving Ditto. And like my boy Amazing Mo. Like you guys leave a bunch of cool Ubers teams. But I found that, and I find it with OU as well recently too, like certain Pokemon I can use, but I just play so much better with other Pokemon and different play styles. Definitely feel like I played game 1 a little shaky because I wasn't 100% on calcs. I don't remember game 2. I don't remember. I'm about to open this up. Hold on, let me rewatch this because I want to have a little. Oh yeah, game 2 versus the ice one. No, that's the one I think I played a little bit shaky because I wasn't 100% on Marshadow calcs. But I knew once it was Arceus Fire, I should have a chance because Arceus Fire doesn't run refresh. It's usually offensive and runs like Thunder and stuff. So for Kyogre, game 1 was okay too. This is a short one. Alright, I'll give you guys a long one in the next one then. Especially if we're going to be using them offense, I'll definitely give you guys a long one. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.